Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana is in a tight spot. His budget proposal is facing fierce opposition. A crucial meeting with ANC officials is scheduled for Monday, March 10, 2025. The future of the budget hangs in the balance. The meeting's outcome will determine whether Godongwana can salvage his plan. It's a critical juncture for the South African economy. The eyes of the nation are on Godongwana and the ANC.
Check one, check.
The finance minister faces a monumental task. He needs to appease different factions within the ruling ANC. At the same time, he must convince coalition partners of his vision. The budget is a delicate balancing act. Godongwana is walking a tightrope. His ability to navigate these competing pressures will determine the fate of the budget. The stakes are high, and the pressure is on. At the heart of the controversy lies a proposed VAT increase. The South African government, grappling with a significant budget shortfall, has put forward a plan that has sparked widespread debate and concern among its citizens. The proposal aims to raise the value-added tax, or VAT, from its current rate of 15% to 17%. This seemingly small increase has the potential to create a ripple effect throughout the economy, affecting everything from the cost of basic goods to the overall economic growth of the nation. Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana, the architect of this proposal, argues that the increase is necessary to address a critical issue. The South African economy is facing a daunting 60 billion rand deficit, a gap that threatens to undermine the country's financial stability. Godongwana believes that raising the VAT is a pragmatic solution to plug this gaping hole in the fiscus, ensuring that essential public services can continue to operate without interruption. This move is designed to plug a gaping 60 billion rand hole in the fiscus. The deficit poses a significant threat to the country's economic stability. Without addressing this shortfall, South Africa risks facing severe economic consequences, including potential downgrades by international credit rating agencies, which could further exacerbate the financial strain on the nation. The deficit poses a significant threat to the country's economic stability. The proposed VAT hike is seen as a necessary measure to prevent further economic decline. However, this solution is not without its critics. Many argue that the increase will place an undue burden on the most vulnerable segments of society, particularly the poor and working class, who are already struggling to make ends meet. However, the proposed VAT hike has been met with strong resistance. Across the country, protests have erupted as citizens voice their opposition to the plan. Community leaders and activists argue that the increase will exacerbate existing inequalities, making it even harder for low-income families to afford basic necessities. They contend that the government should explore alternative solutions that do not disproportionately impact the poor. Critics argue that it will disproportionately impact the poor and working class. In townships and informal settlements, where many live on the margins of poverty, the additional cost of goods and services could push more people into financial distress. Public transport fares, food prices, and other essential expenses are all expected to rise, making daily life even more challenging for those who are already struggling. They fear it will fuel inflation and stifle economic growth. Economists warn that the VAT increase could lead to higher inflation rates, eroding the purchasing power of consumers and slowing down economic activity. This, in turn, could create a vicious cycle of reduced consumer spending, lower business revenues, and ultimately, slower economic growth. The debate over the VAT hike is a complex and multifaceted issue, with no easy answers in sight. The Democratic Alliance, a key coalition partner, has voiced its opposition to the VAT increase. The DA argues that it will place an undue burden on ordinary South Africans. Instead, the party advocates for alternative revenue-generating measures. These alternatives include selling major port concessions and implementing strict cost-cutting measures across government. The DA believes these actions will address the deficit without resorting to regressive taxation. Section 5. Coalition cracks, the postponement. The budget presentation was initially scheduled for the 19th of February, 2025. This date was eagerly anticipated by many, as it was expected to outline the government's financial strategy for the coming year. The budget is a crucial document that not only sets the tone for economic policy, but also impacts various sectors, from healthcare to education and infrastructure to social welfare. The anticipation was palpable, with stakeholders from different industries keenly awaiting the details. However, it was postponed to the 12th of March, 2025, due to deep divisions within the GNU coalition government. The decision to delay the budget was not taken lightly. It came after intense deliberations and heated discussions among coalition members. The postponement was seen as a necessary step to ensure that all voices within the coalition were heard and that a consensus could be reached. This delay, however, did not come without its own set of challenges and criticisms. The disagreements center around the proposed VAT increase and other contentious budgetary measures. The VAT increase was a particularly thorny issue, with some coalition members arguing that it was essential for raising government revenue, while others believed it would place an undue burden on the middle and lower income groups. Other contentious measures included cuts to certain social programs and changes to corporate tax rates. These issues sparked protests and debates, both within the government and among the public. This postponement highlights the fragility of the coalition. The GNU coalition, formed with the promise of bringing stability and progress, now finds itself at a crossroads. The internal divisions have exposed the underlying tensions and differing priorities of its members. The coalition's ability to present a united front is being tested, and the postponement of the budget is a clear indication of the challenges it faces. The question now is whether the coalition can overcome these differences and deliver on its promises. It raises serious concerns about the government's ability to navigate complex economic challenges. Economic analysts have expressed their worries about the potential impact of these delays on the country's financial health. The ability to implement effective economic policies is crucial, especially in times of global uncertainty. The postponement has also led to questions about the government's competence and its ability to manage the economy effectively. Citizens are left wondering if their leaders can steer the country through these turbulent times. The delay has eroded public confidence and injected uncertainty into the markets. Investors and businesses thrive on stability and predictability, and the postponement of the budget has created an environment of uncertainty. Stock markets have shown signs of volatility, and businesses are hesitant to make significant investments without a clear understanding of the government's economic policies. The public's trust in the government's ability to manage the economy is waning, and this erosion of confidence could have long-term repercussions. The coming weeks will be crucial in determining whether the government can regain the trust of its citizens and stabilize the economic landscape. Section 6. Seeking internal consensus. Godongwana's upcoming meeting with ANC officials is crucial for securing internal consensus. This meeting is not just another routine gathering. It is a pivotal moment that could determine the future direction of the party and the country. The stakes are incredibly high, and the atmosphere is charged with anticipation. The ANC, being the ruling party, holds significant sway over the legislative process, and their unified support is essential for any major policy to move forward. He needs to convince his own party of the necessity of his proposed measures. These measures are not just financial adjustments. They are comprehensive reforms aimed at addressing long-standing economic issues. Godongwana must articulate the benefits clearly and persuasively, ensuring that every member understands the long-term advantages. The challenge lies in balancing the diverse interests within the party, from the grassroots activists to the senior leadership, each with their own priorities and concerns. Without the ANC's full backing, the budget has little chance of passing through Parliament. The opposition is poised to scrutinize every detail, and any sign of internal discord could be exploited to derail the process. The unity of the ANC is not just a matter of party discipline, it is a strategic necessity. The budget proposal includes critical allocations for healthcare, education, and infrastructure, sectors that are in dire need of investment. A failure to pass the budget could have severe repercussions for the nation's development. The meeting is an opportunity for Godongwana to address concerns and build support within his own ranks. He must listen to the feedback from his colleagues, address their reservations, and find common ground. This is a test of his leadership and his ability to unify the party around a shared vision. The discussions will likely be intense, with passionate arguments on all sides, but they are necessary for forging a consensus that can withstand external pressures. It remains to be seen whether he can bridge the divides and present a united front. The outcome of this meeting will have far-reaching implications, not just for the budget, but for the political stability of the country. If Godongwana succeeds, it will be a significant achievement, demonstrating the strength and resilience of the ANC. If he fails, it could lead to a period of uncertainty and instability. The eyes of the nation are on this meeting, waiting to see if the ANC can rise to the occasion and deliver a cohesive and effective governance strategy. Section 7. Can the centre hold? The fate of the budget, and indeed the stability of the coalition government, hang in the balance. The coming days will be critical. All eyes are on Godongwana as he navigates these treacherous political waters. The outcome of the ANC meeting will be a key indicator of the budget's chances of survival. If Godongwana can secure his party's support, he will be in a stronger position to negotiate with coalition partners. Section 8. The people's burden. Ultimately, the decisions made in the coming days will have a profound impact on the lives of ordinary South Africans. The VAT increase, if implemented, will be felt most acutely by those who can least afford it. The government must carefully weigh the potential consequences of its actions. It needs to ensure that the burden of economic recovery is shared equitably. Section 9. A budget for whom? As the nation awaits the outcome of these crucial meetings, one question lingers. Will the final budget serve the interests of all South Africans, or will it cater to the demands of political expediency? Only time will tell whether Godongwana's budget will weather the VAT storm and deliver on its promise of economic stability and prosperity for all.